Hello, Assalamu alaikum guys. Here we are for the Fluid Mechanics 1 lab part. That is for the four jobs, job number 5, job number 6, 7 and 8. So today I'm going to give you instructions about these four labs, jobs, and then you are going to be performed in the next week. Experiment number 5. It is to investigate the validity of Bernoulli's equation when applied to water having a steady flow through a tapered duct. So this tapered duct you can see in the figure. Also you have seen in the layout of the fluid mechanics lab this Bernoulli's operators. This Bernoulli's operators is going to be connected, all of the piezometers tubes you can see over here, and these piezometric tubes are going to be connected with a tapered duct, mean one pipe that is going to be having different diameters. So these different diameters are going to be having a certain converging and the reduced dia, the smallest dia you can say throat, and then converging end. So in this way finally you are getting. So here you can see these piezometric tubes. These piezometric tubes with the help of smaller pipes, plastic pipes, rubber type kind of a pipes, those are connected with the main pipe underneath. This pipe is having one inlet and one outlet of the water just to control the flow of the water. That has needed to be connected with the hydraulic bench. And you will see that another one during the layout of this fluid mechanics lab, you have been studying that one that kind of Bernoulli's operators has been connected and adjusted with the hydraulic bench. That hydraulic bench is used to control or to measure the discharge of the water through the system. And now we are going to be calculate or determine that discharge practically. So the purpose is, the main objective of this job is to study the validity of Bernoulli's equation and to understand the features of real fluids, which includes major losses of energy due to friction where energy equation is used. So right now we do not need to calculate the head losses or the energy losses. We are only interested in this practical experiment number 5 to determine or to evaluate the validity of the Bernoulli's equation. For that particular case, operators needed Bernoulli's operators, hydraulic bench, the water, scale, and stopwatch. Now this stopwatch is to having three important zones. Note down as I have told you of flow of conversion zone, known volume of throat, so and volume is known to you. So converging is that particular part of the known starting volume, from within that particular time will be noted down by the stopwatch. Three cross divide your volume are going to be marked on this tapered duct that are going to give you the converging part of that particular tube and then or pipe, and then you can see this E labeled as the piezometer, mean pressure head needed to be measured at a cross section that is just at the throat, and then finally F, that is again at the pipe, that is going to give you again the regular diameter. So here the diameters at these particular cross sections A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay, so these 5 cross sections will be connected with this duct, with this pipe, and the distances between these piezometers are given. The distance of the throat and distance of the converging end and diverging ends are also given. The flow direction is also given. Okay, from left side to right hand side, the flow is allowed to be flow within that particular pipe, and the diameters of these this particular pipe at this particular cross section at A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay, those are also will be your given data. When you will be there for the performance in the lab, you will see and you will get those diameters in the lab. It will be given to you. Okay, and also those are written on the operators itself. That particular schematic diagram has been drawn on the operators. You can take the picture from there, or you can note down all of the values from the operators itself also. Okay, so those are going to give you these particular values: 60.28, 8.4, 4.5, 7.9 and 60.46. So in millimeters those values will be there. Finally, procedure. So it's very simple, you can say, procedure for that particular experiment. First of all, attach the Bernoulli's operators to the hydraulic bench, and it is already attached in our fluid mechanics lab. That will be your very first operators. When you have been doing the layout, so at that particular time the first operators was attached with the hydraulic bench already. You need to fill the hydraulic bench operators with water to some level by connecting it to a tap through some pipe. So some inflow conditions you have to maintain. Okay, you have to connect it with some inlet so that the water can be come inside the hydraulic bench. Now allow the flow of the water through tapered duct. When water enters the tapered duct, it only not only moves forward but also rises in the tubes attached to the Bernoulli's operators to give you the pressure measurements. Note down the rise of water in the tubes, piezometric tubes of Bernoulli's operators. This rise gives us the static head. So you are familiar with that. Now, number 5. Take a stopwatch and set it to 0. Then allow the discharge of water from the hydraulic bench operators, and for some specific volume of the water discharge, note the time interval. This will give us the flow rate. Okay, so I have told you that if the known volume of the water is allowed to flow and the time has been noted down, so that amount of the water flowing through a certain cross section divided by the unit time, okay, mean the given time, it will be your flow rate. So volume of the water passing through a particular cross section per unit time is going to be called as flow rate. So discharge Q has been determined in that particular way. Number 6, calculate all the necessary parameter to verify the Bernoulli's equation using observations and construct the table. Draw the energy line for the experiment, which will be a straight. So for your case, there is no need to draw an energy line. So there are no losses considered because we are not drawing the energy equation. So there will be no head losses. Energy line will be a straight line. So no need to draw it. So just you need to complete the calculation table. Okay, so observation and calculation for this particular experiment. So you have to note down the time. And in the table of calculations, the first table is going to be give you a designation for the cross sections from A to F, and then static heads. Static heads are the rise of the water, mean H values in the piezometer. Those needed to be noted down during the experiment. And correspondingly, each cross section having a certain diameter. And by using pi by 4 d square formula, you can get the area, cross section area for that particular cross section. Now you have discharge already with you. Okay, so here you can also going to be write time along with discharge. Okay, so that discharge will be equal to volume of the water divided by time of calculation, calculating this water. Okay, so this will be volume over time. Once the discharge will be with you, so what you can do for the velocity, to measure the velocity or to calculate the velocity, the formula will be Q is equal to AV. So from here, your V will be equal to Q over A. So discharge is already with you, cross section area you have determined in the calculation table. So you can determine the velocity very easily. So once velocity will be with you, then V square over 2G can be determined by using G constant 9.81, and then the total head can be determined by summing up these two heads, static head plus velocity head. So total head will be equal to, if you are going to be give, this is column number 1, this is column number 2, column number 3, 4, 5. So column number 6 will be equal to column number 1 plus column number 5. So static head plus velocity head. So Z, elevation head, will be cancelled out because it is in horizontal duct or pipe. So the elevation is same for all of the cross sections, so it will be cancelled out. So you will be left with only total head, that will be 1 plus the last 5 comments. So depending upon your results, you have to write. So it will give you. Next, experiment number 6. To find out the coefficient of discharge of the Venturi meter and to calibrate it. Purpose: the main objective of this job is to determine the actual and theoretical discharge of the fluid flowing in a pipe and to plot a graph between them. Also to determine its coefficient of discharge. So for the Venturi meter, the coefficient of discharge derivation we have done in the theory. So you can take a reference from there, and also this theoretical part is written, related theory has been written in the lab manual also. You can take reference from there. So finally you have to be having one formula to find out the coefficient of discharge for a Venturi meter, and for that you have to establish the flow that is going to be passed through the Venturi meter, and that is going to be again incorporating the discharge measurement and the related parameters. So for that you need hydraulic bench, you need Venturi meter, you need stopwatch, you need differential manometer, and you need electric supply. That Venturi meter has been installed with the fluid friction operators, the second operators placed in the fluid mechanics lab. And there you can see also the attached differential manometer, and you can get the H1 and H2 value from the differential manometer. You can use the hydraulic bench and stopwatch to get the discharge of the water flowing through the system. Venturi meter is already going to be installed. So we have only two cross sections for the differential manometer, one on the converging part and one at the throat. And electric supply is needed to just make the flow of the water convenient for that particular experiment. In the next slide, you can see the expression of rate of flow for the Venturi meter. So Bernoulli's theorem is applied between the inlet section, which has a diameter equal to the pipe, and the throat. So it contains two limbs which are calibrated as to measure head. So both limbs are connected to respective concerned points of the pipe. It contains manometric fluid, which is usually mercury, having specific gravity 13.6. We form equation by equating the pressure above or below the datum line and measure the heads of the pressure at both sections, and then difference in the heads can be calculated. Here you can see the figure. This is a schematic diagram for this experimental setup. So these pipes are going to be installed with the help of those rubber pipes, the same used in the experiment number 5. And finally, on the left hand side, you can of the fluid friction operators, you can see with the Venturi meter, the manometer has been attached, and you will see when you will come during the performance. Okay, so when you will going to make the flow within that particular Venturi meter, then you will see the rise, the difference in the rise of the water within the manometer, differential manometer will be there. So this H1 and H2 needed to be measured during the experiment. And this cross section where you are getting H1 will be just at the actual diameter of the pipe, and the H2 will be at the throat. So in this way you are just marking two cross section for the Venturi meter, and you are developing the Bernoulli's equation to get the coefficient of discharge. So we are not and the next slide, we are not dealing with the details of behind the derivation of this Q theoretical. We are just getting this equation directly. In the theory, you can take a reference or from the lab manual. So the Q theoretical comes out to be equal to A1 A2 whole square root 2g divided by A1 square minus A2 square whole square root. So it will be multiplied with capital H, and capital H will be measured by gamma m over gamma f minus 1 into capital X. So all of these parameters are known to you. So what you can do, the actual discharge can be determined with the help of hydraulic bench. You have already done this practice for experiment number 5. Okay, so you have to allow the known volume of the water going through the hydraulic bench with time you have to note down. So it is going to give you volume divided by time, Q actual discharge. Knowing theoretical and actual discharges, coefficient of discharge can be computed as follows. So CD can be determined by dividing or by taking the ratios of Q theoretical to Q actual to Q theoretical. Now procedure. You have to arrange the operators, pass the fluid in the Venturi meter to develop the flow, note down values of H1 and H2, note down the volume collected with the help of hydraulic bench, also note the time of collection. Compute the actual discharge by volume divided by time, determine the theoretical discharge using formula and observation recorded in the last step. So, in the next slide, you can see the values, okay, different values, those has been taken during this experiment. So you may have D1 given to you, D2 given to you, okay, it will be your known data. When you will come for the performance, these values will be given to you and you have to note it down. By using this D1 and D2, you can calculate A1 and A2, and this A1 and A2 you can input to get capital K value. This capital K value is required to determine the Q theoretical. Now coming to the observation table, at least 6 observations you have to take. For that, each manometric reading, capital H1 and capital H2 in both of the limbs, right and left limbs of the differential manometer, you have to take down, and the difference will be equal to small h. The actual discharge you need to measure by by calculating the volume passing through the hydraulic bench or collected in the hydraulic bench, and time of flow. Dividing both of these two columns, you will get Q actual. Q theoretical by the formula capital K into H small h square root 1 by 2. Okay, just this one. So it is going to give you the answer. So small h is this differential manometer height, difference in heights, and capital K is already calculated before entering into the table. Now finally Q theoretical is with you. So once Q actual divided by Q theoretical, you will get the coefficient of discharge. That is the required parameter and main objective of this experiment. So you have to note it down for all of the values and observation. Finally, you need to note down or write down the comments. Now coming to experiment number 7. To determine the hydraulic coefficients Cc, Cv and Cd, coefficient of contraction, coefficient of velocity and coefficient of discharge for a given orifice. What is the purpose? The main objective of this job is to determine the coefficient of discharge, velocity and coefficient of contraction by calculating discharge through an orifice and use of orifice and jet operators. So for that particular case, you are using these operators. This is called orifice and jet operators. During the layout of the job, you have been had observed this. Now operators: circular orifice, orifice and jet operators, stopwatch, again hydraulic bench and electric supply. So to make the water flow easier for that particular case, you need the hydraulic bench for the discharge measurement, and the other operators are used to make the orifice practically to be happened in the lab. Now, what are these three coefficients? In the related theory, we have also discussed these coefficients for the orifice, and also in the lab manuals you can take a reference. So first of all, coefficient of contraction. I am revising these coefficients for to make you guys to easy understanding of this particular experiment. It is denoted by Cc, and it is the ratio of area of jet at vena contracta to the area of orifice. It values ranges from 0.61 to 0.69. Mathematically, it is the ratio of area of jet of water at vena contracta divided by area of orifice itself. It cannot be determined experimentally, as location of actual vena contracta and measurement of jet area somewhat difficult. So it is determined from the relationship between CD and CV, as I have told you, and we have been discussed it in theoretical part, that your CD, coefficient of discharge, is equal to coefficient of contraction into coefficient of velocity. So product of coefficient of contraction and coefficient of velocity is equal to coefficient of discharge for the orifice. Now coefficient of velocity, it is the ratio of V theoretical over V actual. Now V actual, how to determine? Okay, experimentally determined from the following equation. You have CV equal to x square over 4y capital H whole square under root. That derivation of this formula we have discussed in the theory. You can take a reference from there, where x is equal to horizontal distance of a point in the center of the jet stream from vena contracta, y is the vertical distance of same point from vena contracta, capital H is the head over the center line of the orifice. Finally, coefficient of discharge, actual discharge over theoretical discharge. So for theoretical discharge, formula is already with you, and for the actual, again hydraulic bench is used to determine the actual discharge. Now, the schematic sketch for the experimental setup is given. That kind of the water tank is with you already. You have this water inlet so that you can make the water coming inside the tank and outside equal to each other. Once it is going to be balanced, mean this capital H is going to be maintained, then what we can do, we can start our experiment by just pulling down these needles placed on that particular board. These are movable, vertically movable. you can move these needles down and these needles up. Okay, so what we can do, we can set all of the needles just at the center line of this jet coming out of the orifice. The first needle is approximately going to be connected at the point where vena contracta is there. The distance between these two, all of the needles needed to be measured. So what we can do, we can take any one of the needle out of these and we can get the first value. Let's suppose the first value is taken by considering the first needle. First needle will be the reference. Okay, so the first observation, let's suppose starting from here. So you are considering your first x, this one. Okay, so this will be your x distance for the first observation. Let's suppose you are selecting the third needle. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's suppose total 8 needles be there. So first reading we can do any one out of these you can select to take the x distance. And the y distance will be the same. That will be the difference of these two. This distance minus this distance. So this will be your y. So x over y, x and y, both these will be with you. So you can measure it by during the experiment and you can input in the formula. Second reading may be considering any other needle, and from the reference mean first needle it will be second observation for x and y, then any other third one and fourth one. It will be up to you that how many observations you are taking and how many needles you are. Jet of water. The stream of the water that issues out of an orifice is called jet of the water. The jet is exposed to the atmosphere on all the sides. Vena contracta and jet contraction. After coming out from the orifice, the jet of water converges to a particular cross section and then expands. The section into which the convergence of the flow line is maximum is called vena contracta, and roughly its distance is half the diameter of the orifice. And this phenomenon is known as jet contraction. Now procedure. I have told you briefly. Now precisely you can do the procedure. Number 1, set the orifice and jet operators to the hydraulic bench. This is very important because actual discharge needed to be measured. Number 2, determine the diameter of orifice as capital D. Number 3, connect the inlet of water into the operators. Number 4, let the flow develop through the orifice. Number 5, take measurement of head, capital H, above the center line of the orifice from the scale pasted on the tank. How you will measure the H? The H can be measured by using the scale that has been pasted on the tank itself. You will see when you will be there during the performance that the scale is there on the tank, and from that scale you can measure this capital H. Number 6, set on the needles to the center line of the jet stream. It's very important. Okay, so very careful. You have to be very careful while doing this step number 6, that the needles should be exactly at the center line of the jet stream. All of the needles. Number 7, take readings of horizontal distance from the face of the orifice and vertical distance to the tip of the needle from the center of the orifice. Any needle that you have been considering. Okay. Number 8, collect a certain volume of the water in the hydraulic bench and note down time of collection to get the actual discharge. So finally, volume collected and time noted. यहाँ पर आप time भी बल्कि time ये दिया हुआ है आपको, ठीक है, first में. So volume collected, horizontal distance of vena contracta from face of the orifice x naught, distance of top of the needle to the vena contracta, that will be y naught. Okay, so that will be the very start, first one needle. First column in the observation column, that your calculation table, the first column, that is time. Q actual by dividing volume, that is known volume, standard volume, and time has been measured, noted down, so divide it. You will get actual discharge. So X observed and Y observed. Capital H measured by the scale on the tank. Now X and Y will be equal to X observed minus X naught. Okay, I have told you. So both of the distances starting from the face, mean vena contracta, till the needle that you are selecting, reference point, you need to subtract those values. Then Y observed minus Y naught. In that particular case, you can get your Q theoretical by using the formula A naught 2G capital H. CD can be calculated by dividing or by taking the ratios of Q actual to Q theoretical. CV can be calculated, coefficient of discharge, that is experimental, x square over 4y capital H. CC will be equal to CD over CV. Okay, so coefficient of discharge divided by coefficient of velocity. So in that particular way, the coefficient of contraction has been measured, coefficient of velocity has been measured, and coefficient of discharge has been measured. So last three columns will give you the three required values. Finally, you have to determine the coefficient of discharge for a rectangular and triangular notch. For that particular case, direct formula has been derived for the rectangular and triangular notch, and their values of the formulas you can observe by during the performance of the experiment. Again, hydraulic bench is used. I have shown you during the layout that the rest part, the above part of the hydraulic tank, inside part of the hydraulic bench can also be used to perform the notch or the wear experiment. So our objective is to determine theoretical and actual discharge and then compare it with each other and to study the variation between them, how the speed is affecting it, and find the coefficient of discharge. So your operators are rectangular notch and triangular notch. Those notches are going to be inserted within the hydraulic bench to make the flow through these notches. Hydraulic bench, stopwatch, and hook gauges to measure the heads over the notches. So for the discharge relationship, very briefly has been discussed over here. In detail, I have told you that, and you have to take a reference from the theory lectures. Here you have Q theoretical, that is equal to 2/3 of capital L into 2G whole square root into H3 by 2, power 3 by 2. And Q actual will be multiplying this Q theoretical with CD, that is coefficient of discharge. Rest of the formula will remain same. For discharge through the triangular notch, again the formula has been derived already. This is 8 by 15 into 10 theta by 2 into 2G whole square under root into H raised to power 5 by 2. For actual discharge, you are just multiplying it with CD. Now procedure is given in the next slide. You need to set the triangular rectangular notch over the hydraulic bench, as I have told you, and that you will see while performing your experiment. How to do that? Let the flow develop through the notch inside the hydraulic bench. Block the outlet of the hydraulic bench and start collecting volume of the water. Note down the time of collection of water in bench. Then note down the value of head at a distance from the notch using hook gauges. And how to get that capital H, that will also you will see while during performance of your experiment. Okay, so but you keep in your mind that during the performance this will be your observation. You have to get this head by using, or you can measure it by using hook gauges. Now finally you have to fill this table. Length of the rectangular notch, depth of the rectangular notch. That rectangular notch will be with you. You can measure it by the scale before the performance of your experiment and note it down over here. Gauge reading for capital H, it will be in millimeter, you have to convert in meter for each reading. Volume collected, it will be in liters, you have to convert it in meter cube. Time you have to note down by using stopwatch. Q actual you can measure by dividing volume into time. Q theoretical by multiplying it with the coefficient of discharge. So Q theoretical you can measure by using the formula. CD will be equal to Q actual over Q theoretical. Okay, so the formula will give you Q theoretical and volume over time by experimental actual. So in that particular way, CD will be known to you. So mean value of the CD for all of the values you have to input over here. That first table will be for the rectangular notch. Similar kind of the table you have to you have to do for the triangular notch. For that, only input data for regarding size parameter will be, or dimension parameters will be angle of the notch, theta. That will be given to you. Gauge reading by using hook gauges, volume collected by using hydraulic bench, time by using stopwatch, Q actual by dividing volume to time, Q theoretical by using the formula of calculating Q theoretical for triangular notch, CD by taking ratio of Q actual to Q theoretical. Finally, the mean value of the CD you have to report. In that particular way, you will be finalized with the 4 experiments, and you have to perform in the next week. Okay, so this is it for today, guys. So you have to bring or you have to just go through with this lecture of instructions of your labs performed, and then you have to come in the coming week along with these tables of calculation for all of these 4 jobs. Thank you so much, guys.